Guys, listen up. I found it. This is the Chicago neighborhood that actually has it all. And if you were thinking about designing the perfect neighborhood in Chicago for you, you probably have a list of things in your head. But some of the things that may come to mind are you want close proximity to the lake and the lakefront trails. You want good access to a lot of great schools in the area. You want close proximity to things to do, whether it's the morning, midday, evenings, right outside of your doorstep. You want to be able to get public transportation and walkability, restaurants, cafes, conveniences like grocery stores, and of course, beautiful architecture and real estate. Yes, we're talking about Lincoln Park. You've heard it here before, you're gonna hear it again, but we're breaking down again on today's video why Lincoln Park in Chicago is the Chicago neighborhood that truly has it all. Let's go. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jordan Pyle, your go-to Chicago real estate agent. My team and I have been servicing the city of Chicago for the last almost 12 years now, and we'd be honored to help people like you. We get calls, texts, and emails from people like you every single day and week talking about making a move to Chicago or moving around in Chicago. And so if we can help you in your real estate journey, feel free to just text the number on the screen and a team member or myself will get in touch within 24 hours. Also, if you just want some free information every 2 weeks sent straight to your inbox, you can literally unsubscribe at any time. Check out the link down in the description for our bi-weekly All Things Chicago newsletter. All right, let's get into today's video. Again, let's talk about the best neighborhood in Chicago, Lincoln Park. All right, number one reason on the list is we're talking location and lifestyle, the two L's. So location, just to remind you, the boundaries of Lincoln Park are North Avenue on the south. On the east side of the city is the lake. On the north side is Diversity Avenue, and on the west side is 9094. So Lincoln Park truly is that neighborhood that has close proximity to downtown. However, it has the neighborhood feel that a lot of you are probably desiring. You know, it's not just gonna be a concrete jungle. There's a lot of green spaces, there's a lot of parks, there's close proximity, like I said before, to walking to the lake and the lakefront trails. And of course, you have access to Lincoln Park, which is actually the biggest park in all of Chicago. It spans over 1,200 acres, which is more than double the size of Central Park in New York. One thing I love most about Lincoln Park is you walk out your doorstep, you're walking up and down the streets, they're tree lined, they're beautiful, whether it's the summer, the spring, the fall. Of course, maybe you don't want to be walking down the streets in the wintertime because it can get a little cold and there can be a nice buildup of ice and snow. So the fact that you're so close to downtown, but you're also close to the lake and you're just kind of equidistant in between everything. You know, if you go north, you go to Lakeview, you can get up into further parts of the Chicago kind of city area. You go west to the expressway, you jump over the expressway, you have Bucktown and Wicker Park. You go south, you have Old Town, you have the Gold Coast, you have River North. And so you're really just a nice middle ground distance in Lincoln Park, which is why so many people love this area. If you were to go from the middle of Lincoln Park to literally downtown, center of Chicago, it's probably gonna take you about 15 to 20 minutes depending on traffic. And so if you wanna go to O'Hare from Lincoln Park, it's gonna take you about 35 to 45 minutes depending on traffic. If you wanna go and get to the West Loop, you're about 15 to 20 minutes. And so you're really just nice equidistance between everything, which is one of the reasons I love the actual location of Lincoln Park. Now, when we're talking about lifestyle, of course can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. All right, so picture this. Let's just go up into our little vision bubble and think about a day in the life of a Saturday of you and your family living in Lincoln Park. So you wake up in the morning, you feel the fresh air and the sun flooding into your brownstone that you have on a tree-lined street in Lincoln Park. You get out of bed, you go and make some coffee, you get the kids ready, maybe you grab your husband or your wife or your partner, maybe even a dog. You head down and you stroll down to the local farmer's market in Lincoln Park. You check out all the local vendors, you grab your fresh produce for the week, and then maybe you jet over to Armitage Avenue, get a second coffee. If you're anything like me, you're definitely grabbing another one for the day. Maybe do some shopping on Armitage. You take the long way home, stop at a couple parks, let the dog do what the dog does, have the kids run around and play. And then you go home, you make your lunch, you hang out. And then at night, maybe you're feeling pizza and beers. And so you go and take a walk down to Rinaldi's, which is on Lincoln Avenue in their beer garden. You grab some good pizza, some good beers, some friends, and you just have one hell of a night. And so that's just a quick sped up version of what you can do, but it's a very walkable neighborhood. There's all your conveniences that you might need, whether it be the local farmer's market, your grocery stores, your cafes, your restaurants, just things to do in general. There's just a plethora of opportunities to support the lifestyle that you envision for yourself. And so we have so many people reach out to us that specifically want something like I just explained to you. They don't want to have a car, they want to walk everywhere, they want to be close to the lake, and they want to be able to have the feeling of a neighborhood, but in the big city, in close proximity to the actual downtown, very dense, high-rise market of the beautiful city of Chicago. And that's where you're gonna get. So location and lifestyle is the #1 reason why Lincoln Park really has it all. Next up, we're talking housing and architecture. Of course, we have to throw this one in, not only because our team and myself are realtors, and we can help you with that by texting the number on the screen, but architecture and real estate is just one of the coolest things that you're going to get to experience in Lincoln Park. Whether you're talking about 19th century brownstones or graystones, or new luxury single family homes, or even old vintage condos up and down Lakeshore Drive, you really have a unique mix of real estate and real estate opportunities for you and your family. Whether you're a luxury buyer with a big budget looking to move into a new single family in the city, or maybe you are moving into your first apartment in the city and you want a rental option, to everywhere in between, 2 bedrooms, the 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms and more. You have walk-ups, you have high rises, you have single family homes. So you can really find any type of living and housing accommodations that you're looking for in Lincoln Park. And the beauty and kind of the diversity of the real estate in Lincoln Park is something you can't find in every city. And so being able to walk down the street and seeing this unique mix of all these different types of buildings is really something that I cherish about Lincoln Park and the housing options that Lincoln Park can allow for you. One cool thing, a quick fact to know about Lincoln Park, is some of the areas are actually historically landmarked. So this means that the city protects the actual external facade of these buildings to remain intact and to have the old and unique architecture remain. And so you can go in when you have a historical landmark and actually renovate the inside of the property. But for any property that is historically landmarked, you have to maintain the facade and the exterior so that it has that old school Chicago feel. So you'll notice these areas as you walk through different parts of Lincoln Park, and it's just one of the coolest things to go out just on a walk with your significant other and just literally look at real estate. And maybe that's just me because I'm in real estate, but we find that so many other people are also interested in real estate and architecture, and Lincoln Park is a great neighborhood for you to find that. Now, if we're talking about price points, if you're looking for that single family home in Lincoln Park, your starting point's probably gonna be $2 million and up, but you can find, studio apartments for maybe $1,500 a month, to 2 bedroom, 2 bath condos, even new construction for maybe $650,000 to $750,000, and really everywhere in between. So whether you're the $1,400 rental apartment to the $5 million single family buyer, Lincoln Park has options for you. So the third thing on the list is a plethora of things to do. And earlier in this video, we took you through what maybe a Saturday could look like, but that was just literally a small glimpse of everything that you can do in Lincoln Park. And so really from morning to afternoon to evening to late night, you have things that you can do in Lincoln Park. And so some of the hotspot areas in Lincoln Park where you have things to do are places like Armitage Avenue. Armitage Avenue has a lot of good shopping. It also has a place called Annette's, which is also like a frozen ice or like an ice cream spot. If you go to Annette's, plan to go early and plan to wait for a little bit of time, especially in the summer. But Annette's is one of the hot spots on Armitage Avenue. You also have a place called Armitage Ale House, which is a hot spot, and so many other options up and down Armitage Ave. Another place you can go, this is gonna be a little bit closer to the lake, is up and down Clark Street. And so Clark Street is really gonna be more of your bar scene, as well as Lincoln Avenue. You can find different bars right where our Compass office is in Lincoln Park, right at the intersection of Lincoln, Fullerton, and Halsted. You have an Equinox gym right there. You also have another one not too far down the street, right by where the farmer's market is in Lincoln Park. And then of course, if you want to go into Lincoln Park and experience all that there is, whether it's North Pond, the conservatory, the free zoo, of course you have the zoo there. So the zoo is obviously one of the hot attractions, both in the summer, spring, and fall, but then also in the winter when the zoo lights are there. And Lincoln Park, quick fact about the zoo is that it actually opened in 1868. Yes, you heard that right, 1868, making it one of the oldest zoos in North America. And if you like to live an active, healthy lifestyle, well, definitely get on your running shoes or jump on your bike, head over to the Lakefront Trail and take in all of the beauty of the city from there. That is my absolute favorite thing about Lincoln Park, is basically you can get to the park, if you're on the far west end of Lincoln Park, it may take you 25 to 30 minutes on, a bike to get to the actual lake. Maybe it's, closer to 15, and if you're running, maybe you're talking 30 or 35 minutes. However, If you want to, basically from anywhere in Lincoln Park, you can walk to the lakefront. And so if you just want to have a long Sunday stroll to the lake, to take it in, maybe take some picnic stuff and sit in the lawn and just take in the actual skyline, the breeze coming off the Lake Michigan, and just people watching, well, it never gets old. And it is just one of the main gyms in Chicago is the Lakefront Trail, and specifically the Lakefront Trail just east of Lincoln Park. It's my favorite thing. I think you'll love it too. Number 4 up on the list is dining and nightlife. We talked about a lot of things to do in the morning or during the day, but if you want to get out and get to some good restaurants or go out, have some fun at night, well, Lincoln Park has that for you too. From Michelin Star to Linea, which is on Halsted Street, to neighborhood staples and brunch magnets, Lincoln Park is a foodie's playground. You have Spanish tapas, you have thin crust tavern pizza, you have places like Luminati's in Lincoln Park, you also have Gino's East, you have a lot of different options. You have Happy Camper, which is kind of like Old Town, but it's close to Lincoln Park. That's one of my favorite places in the city to go and get some good pizza and some beers and just different things like that, and just have a good atmosphere and environment. And some of Chicago's best cocktail bars are also all within walking distance. So a quick fact about the dining and nightlife is that Alinea, which we talked about, is Chicago's only 3 Michelin star restaurant and regularly ranks among the best in the world. All right, last but not least, we're talking about schools and community in Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park attracts everyone from young professionals to growing families, and one of the things that you're probably considering is, where are my kids gonna go to school if you're moving to Lincoln Park? Thanks to its highly rated public and private schools, active community events, and neighborhood feel, Lincoln Park High School, Francis Parker, and the Latin School are all in the area. You also have Oscar Mayer Elementary, which is a Montessori school, which is a popular choice for many as well. Quick fact about one of the schools is that the Francis W. Parker has been in Lincoln Park since 1901 and was one of the first schools in the country to emphasize experiential, hands-on learning. So if you're considering living in Lincoln Park and schools are important to you, well, you are definitely covered in this category as well. So if you're looking for that neighborhood in Chicago that truly has it all, location, housing variety, endless things to do, world-class dining, and top-rated schools, Lincoln Park is definitely hard to beat. If this neighborhood is on your list and you're considering a relocation here or moving from somewhere else in Chicago, drop a comment down below any questions that you have, and I'd be happy to chime in and answer those. If this video has been helpful to you today, do us a favor, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you can catch all of our future videos. And if this has really impacted you, we would love it if you shared it with a friend. And so without further ado, if we can help you in your real estate goals, just text that number on the screen. Team member or myself will get in touch within 24 hours. And we hope that this video today has been helpful for you to explore and to better understand what life could look like in Lincoln Park, Chicago. All right, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.